I'm an American who spent the last 2 years living in the Netherlands, and one of the things I've been thinking about since being here is how my home country deals with issues of race. There's been a lot in the news that I'm very uncomfortable with and makes me extremely sad, and I didn't know what to do, but I thought one thing I could do was I could read. I say that Black Lives Matter, but up until this year it hadn't looked like Black stories matter very much to me from what I had been reading. So I decided I would try and change that. And here's what I've read so far. I have a lot of books I want to share with you, but I'm going to keep my reviews down to 2 sentences, so hopefully it will not take too long. Let's start with the literary fiction. The first book I read was The Color Purple by Alice Walker. It's an astonishing tale of the strength of women bringing love and forgiveness even to the most terrible circumstances. I was expecting the pain, but was surprised by the love. The next is Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. This soaring novel tells about the importance of family upbringing, how flaws, stories, and even a propensity to madness can carry through the generation. It was like a glimmering folklore in the 20th century US. Maya Angelou's I Knew Why the Caged Bird Sings is a memoir of her childhood, part adventure story, part dreams and tragedies, and part emotional roller coaster. The audiobook is read by the author, and every word is a gem. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Why We Can't Wait is a collection of his writings so articulate to the problems facing America both in the 60s and now. I could not believe how many of the same exact issues are being fought about even today. Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow lays out in intricate detail the ways in which the criminal justice system promotes systemic injustice, particularly as regards black men. Painful and gut-wrenching, but you should absolutely read it. Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson got a lot of awards, and no question, it's the story of the author's life growing up as a writer in the making. I was not expecting this complex of a depiction of a child's feelings. Crossover by Kwame Alexander includes twin boys who are basketball stars, but their family in crisis is the center of the story. This one is also written in verse and totally deserves the Newbery Medal. Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry by Mildred D. Taylor is a coming-of-age story of a young girl growing up in Alabama, working the land on which her grandparents were once considered property. I read this book as a middle schooler and reread it this year, and found it not just magnificent as criticism of racism and injustice, but also as a story. Make Way for Diamond Daniel by Nikki Grimes is a school story, a story of friendship, moving, and a fabulous main character that ties it all together with empathy. This one's an early reader, one of those really thin books with 5-page chapters, lots of pictures, and yeah, it's just great. Okay, that was a lot very quickly. I hope I haven't lost you in all those books. I have 3 more I wanted to talk about that are sort of honorable mention kind of on the list. They're not written by black authors, but I thought that they contributed to the conversation in a helpful way. First is M.T. Anderson's The Astonishing Life of Octavia Nothing, Book 1 and 2. Tells the story of a slave during the Revolutionary War and what his life might be like. The other is Home by Marilynne Robinson. It's the companion novel to Gilead, and it is beautiful and heart-wrenching and tells a lot about race relations. So that was a breakneck video, just basically a long list. What I'm hoping to read next are more books by Toni Morrison and some James Baldwin, maybe? I'd love to hear your suggestions, and I'm excited about the suggestion tags already on BookTube, such as Read Soul Lit, which I just heard about, and the Reading Diversely tag. Thanks for watching. I hope we can add to this conversation.